Normally we go back to the couch, then back to me in the kitchen, but now we're here in the kitchen with Tom from the Irishman Pub and Eatery, right? Did I get it right?
You did.
All right. Tom was just saying, this is great. I got to follow Evander Holyfield this morning. You do.
No pressure.
You do.
No pressure or anything.
Well, we've got a lot of stuff here. We're making French onion soup or just an onion soup?
Our version is Irish onion soup, of course.
Right, which
means the Guinness is a key part of the Irish. You know,
I don't know. You guys seem to cook with Guinness more than... Do you drink it there, too?
We've been known to drink it from time to time.
You do that? Okay,
well.
good.
Yes,
all right, I just want to make sure.
When we're done cooking with it.
Okay, so we're making your version of onion soup. What do we got here?
We have some red onions, some white onions. We have oregano, fresh garlic. We have some basil there, and then just a little salt and pepper mix.
A little mix right there.
Yep.
You always got to add salt and pepper.
Always
pretty much to everything.
Yeah, pretty much taste, you know. So
yeah. Now, I know that red onions are sweet, so are they purposely in there to add a little sweetness?
Yeah, they're to add a little sweetness to it,
okay.
And we add a little bit of sugar in there, too, just to give it a little bit, kind of sets ours apart a little bit.
Okay, so 2, 4, 6, we got 8 onions all together.
This is a small batch. We generally do bigger batches at the restaurant. This is a small batch, yes.
So this is for 8 guys watching the game, maybe, or on the weekend?
Yeah, sounds like a good number for it.
Okay, what are we talking about prep time as far as getting this ready? If I want to start making this Sunday morning before the game.
Prep time, you probably only need about an hour to 45 minutes to do this.
That's it?
Yeah, this does not take very long. I mean, pretty much just going to chop the onions and pretty much self-explanatory from there.
That's it. And this is your little twist on French onion soup. Do you guys sell this at the...
We do.
Is it on the menu?
Yes, this is one of our menu soups.
Is it a big one?
Yes. Yeah, we sell a really good amount of it.
Of course, you guys also have wings at the restaurant as well.
Yep.
We do. People love those.
People love the Guinness wings.
Guinness wings, right. Well, we made those before, and
we did.
They did. They went down easy. All right. Well, we're going to start chopping up these onions. We got a lot of work to do in the kitchen. Right now, we're going to send it back over to Vic. And what's happening over there? Welcome back. Hey, Vic. All right. We're with Chef Tom from the Irishman Pub and Eatery in Williamsville?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know why I had to question that. We're making your version of an onion soup, right?
Yes.
So what do we need? What do the folks at home need if they don't already know?
Well, first and foremost, you need some Guinness. You know, that's a good place to start. You know, some for cooking, some for drinking, and then red onion. You know, you got your onions here. Garlic. You know, you can substitute fresh herbs. You can use fresh oregano or fresh basil if you want to. You know.
So you can use fresh. You don't
can
use the dried
fresh. You can use the dried.
Okay.
You know, it just kind of depends. Yep.
Okay, great. Now, as far as prep time goes, this is kind of it's definitely a hearty soup just because of all the onions in them, right?
Right.
And how long does this take to make if I'm trying to get ready for a 1 o'clock football game on Sunday?
Well, if you're trying to get ready for a 1 o'clock game, I would say give yourself about an hour, hour and a half. It's really not. I mean, you know, from time, pretty much the actual prep is not much, and then once you get everything going, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Yeah.
All right. Now, obviously, if you don't want to make this, you guys have it down at the restaurant, right?
We do. We have it at the Irishman. You can come down and get it, and yes, it's one of our very popular soups there.
All right. It's really interesting when we talk to chefs on our show about how you guys sometimes come up with recipes. Were you screwing around in the kitchen one day and this happened, or is it something that's been at the Irishman?
This was a recipe that was in place when I started at the Irishman,
okay.
But most of the recipes there were pretty much just kind of inspired by Irish ideas. And
that's where the Guinness comes from, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. We got about 30 seconds. Really quick. You want to talk about a pumpkin weigh-off you were telling me about. Let's give us a quick idea what that's all about.
Well, at the Irishman on October 1st at 11 a.m., we're going to have a pumpkin weigh-off right in the middle of the village of Williamsville, and pretty much we're encouraging everyone to come out for that. And, you know,
should be fun.
Yeah, should be a good time.
All right, good stuff, Tom. When we get back, we're going to start chopping up the onions, making this soup. We'll toss to break right now. When we come back from that break, though, we're going to discuss, of course, bullying. It's a big issue this week, and for quite some time it has been. And we're going to have an expert here on Winging It, so stay with us for that. All right, well, maybe a nice glass of wine would go well with this onion soup, right? Who knows? Well, we're with Chef Tom from the Irishman.
Yes.
And you're chopping up onions because we're making an onion soup, and it's your kind of spin, the restaurant spin on a
That's right. It's our take. It's an Irish take on French.
Irish take, which means we are using Guinness today.
Yes.
We're not drinking it. We're cooking with it.
Not quite yet.
First,
not quite yet. Right.
So we've got some plain white onions, and we've got the red onion. Obviously, that's a little sweeter,
A little sweeter, yep. That goes, you know, adds a little flavor to it, adds a little depth to the broth of the soup. So we go with those.
So that's the main ingredient, basically.
Yep, it's pretty much just onions. This is it.
And we've got about 4 of each type of onion. Now, this doesn't make a big serving, but this is probably enough if you got some folks coming over for the game on a Sunday.
Yeah, this would be enough for a good batch. You want to have a good amount of onions in there, you know, not be too brothy or anything. You want to have some substance to it.
Okay.
So.
And I noticed you get your pot here ready. There's a little bit of butter they just put there. That's a little tip.
Yeah, we could probably
just a little butter in there. Just get a little butter in there, right? That way it won't...
Yep, so that's stick. And then...
Did we just repeat ourselves? All right, I guess
we may have.
Remember to put some butter in the bottom of the pan, because it'll stick. All right.
All right, we're going to go with the onions.
Ooh, they kind of fry up a little bit here.
Yeah, we're going to get those going.
All right, can I dump these guys in here?
Let's go with them all.
Onions, if Chef Scotty was here, he'd tell us that there's 3 types of onions. But he's not here, so let's move on. All right, so put those in there. Right. Now, you have 4 different kinds of spices you're using as well, right? That's also important.
Yep, we have the basil, oregano, we have the minced garlic, and then we have salt, pepper, and a little bit of sugar mixed in together in there.
Okay, wow.
Right now we're just sweating these onions here to...
make your eyes water a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Oh, you're used to it,
ready
though,
for
right?
it. Yeah, I'm a little bit desensitized to this.
Now, when you guys are making this soup at the restaurant, is it in a giant cauldron, or...
Yeah, it's a very large soup pot, yeah.
I just picture a guy with, like, horns at his head, like, stirring the thing.
Actually, we do have the wooden paddle like that,
You
so
do,
it's
right?
very similar to going with the cauldron like that. Yeah,
good stuff. All right, now what are we putting in here real quick?
That's our basil, our oregano, our minced garlic, and then our salt, pepper, and sugar mix.
Oh, there's a little sugar in there,
A little bit of sugar in there, just to kind of sweeten it up a little bit.
That's great. Plus the red onion, that'll
the red onion, everything. Great, you got a lot of good flavors going in there.
Now, you're just going at it as if there's some fluid in there, but you're not. You're just...
Yeah, pretty much. You don't need a ton of butter in there. As you cook the onions down with the salt and the sugar, the moisture that's in the onions is going to be drawn out.
And look, let's tilt this real quick for Johnny. Look, you see how all the onions just absorb all those spices right
The onions are all getting in there with all the spices and the garlic and everything.
All right.
Yep, and these are starting to sweat down a little bit here.
Now, you were saying this size pot makes about what? It takes about an hour and a half?
I would say, yeah, probably maybe an hour,
if I start cooking this at 11 a.m. in the morning, it's ready for game time. If it's
because, I mean, pretty much at this point, we've done most of the prep. We've done most of the work for it. We just got to cook the onions down. We add our Guinness, and then we have our beef base, our beef broth that we add to it. And
that's the other ingredient as well.
Right, and once it comes to a boil, we're pretty much good to go.
All right.
At the Irishman, we top it. We put croutons in it. We top it with a little provolone cheese.
Provolone cheese, okay.
Yes.
Good stuff. And you put that in the oven, I assume.
Yep, then we'll bake it in the oven. Right now, we're adding the key ingredient right now, the Guinness.
Smell that. How much Guinness do we put in here?
That was about a quart right there.
A quart of Guinness.
Yep.
Get that ready.
And you want to cook that down basically until most of the liquid's gone. You're going to cook out most of the alcohol, so you just have the delicious Guinness flavor left in there.
By the way, the Irishman does a great job at making, they use the Guinness as well for your wing recipe.
Yes, we use it for our wing recipe.
Awesome.
Yep.
Guinness wings are
Guinness
great. Now, I'm thinking this weekend with the big matchup with the Patriots and the Bills, you guys are going to be selling a lot of this soup and the wings, I bet.
Yes, we are. It's going to be...
Prepared for that? You ready?
We are ready, yes. Well, I'm ready for a Bills win first and foremost, but if you... there's not many better places than the Irishman to come out and check it out.
Streak. Let's hope.
That's right.
Let's hope
the Irishman will break the streak this week.
Now, would you serve the Gronkowski brothers if they showed up, or?
You know, I think we might have to.
You might have to.
We wouldn't be happy about
reluctantly.
Yes,
right?
reluctantly, of course.
All right. One of them was talking a little bit of trash, but we'll get to that later.
You'll have that with the Patriots.
Exactly. All right. So now you're adding beef broth, right?
Yep.
How much of that is in here?
That was about 3-4 quarts, and normally I would cook out the Guinness a little bit longer, but I just want to demonstrate for everyone.
Right,
this is pretty much once the Guinness is cooked out, down a little bit more, you'll add your stock, and then once it comes to a boil, you're pretty much good to go.
All right, we got the finished product. We got
have the finished
40 seconds left here. This is what happens. Tom gets in a little bit early and makes it happen, and that's what you can get.
Well, you get at the Irishman.
At the Irishman, or you can make it at home. That's provolone cheese, you said, right?
Yeah, we made some croutons, and we just put those on top of the soup, and then we melt a little provolone and Swiss cheese on top, and pretty much good to go.
Good stuff. Now, really quick, you guys have a pumpkin weighing event going on. You want to tell us about that real quick?
Yes, on October 1st, we're going to have a pumpkin weigh-off in front of the Irishman in Williamsville, and pretty much the whole week, September 30th to October 2nd will be the Oktoberfest in Williamsville. And we encourage everyone to come out. We have lots of, every restaurant there will have specials, Oktoberfest specials and everything.
Good stuff. Can't wait for that. You guys have some more info you're going to let us in on a little bit later. Right now, we're going to send it back over to Victoria on the couch. And you got to get over here when you're done with whatever you're doing over there, because we're going to eat a little soup.
Yeah.
Welcome back. It's time for Second Helpings. We're with Chef Tom from The Irishman. You've made some delicious, your spin on the French onion soup. It's great. It's with Guinness, of course. Now we're going to take that soup and pour it over some chicken?
Yeah, pretty much. This is one of the entrees at the Irishman. Pretty much, we take just a regular chicken breast, we put an egg wash on it. You want to get a hot saute pan, get that nice and hot, and then you want to start. Basically, we start by sauteing. You want to brown it off in the saute pan, and then you'll finish it in a preheated oven.
Okay, so it's
350 preheated oven. Yeah, probably finish about 10 to 15 minutes until the chicken breast is all the way cooked through.
And that's a thin one. You can even pound a thick piece if you wanted to.
Yeah, there's ways to speed it along. You could pound this on, but.
Yeah, no, that's
Pretty
great.
much.
And,
Yep, just want to start it. Just get a nice.
And you put
nice
just a little
golden brown
flour
on
and
that.
some egg wash
Yep,
on that?
just flour, egg wash into a hot saute pan.
Sounds good. You're going to put
Yep.
that in there, and then obviously the soup will come later.
Right, the soup will come. We use the soup to kind of finish the dish. We'll put that right on top of the chicken breast.
Sounds good. Now, how long are you going to put that in the oven for?
Probably about 10 to 15 minutes until the chicken's, internal temperature 165.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. No, no. He's got one made already, of course. Let's get this out of here and show everyone the finished product. Do you guys also make this at the Irishman, or is this something you just thought of?
Nope, this is one of our entrees at the Irishman, and it features the Irish onion, so it's...
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
A little asparagus in there, too.
Yep. That's one of our vegetables at the Irishman. That's our cold can and mashed potatoes, and then we pretty much, that's provolone cheese on top of the chicken breast.
Good stuff.
And then we just finish it off with a little bit of our Irish onion.
Oh, that's the flavor right there.
Little onion on there, the flavor, and you're good to go. Yep.
All right, good stuff. Now, Restaurant Week's coming up. You have anything going on there for that?
Yes, we will be participating in Restaurant Week. It starts this Sunday. We're going to be having specials during lunch and for dinner, and pretty much all week, yeah, so...
All right, check out the Irishman. They've got great Guinness wings as well. We know that. You guys cook with Guinness a lot more than
we do.
Most people drink Guinness, but that's good stuff. It smells great in here. Tom, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. They'll be back next week, of course. If you missed this recipe, check it out on wingingit.tv. Right now, back to you, Victoria.